Peterson climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness! Come
What is up, Jabroni? JJ back here with the crew. Snyder, Travis, talking a little Scottish Open. Some may actually call this the Scotty Open. Dude's odds are kind of sick for this tournament, but LOL. No Kurt today. Kurt is very busy. I don't know if he's in the sheets. I don't know if he's ferociously masturbating, but I do know that he's unavailable for this show. We wish him nothing but the best. Show goes on. He will be missed, but again, show goes on. Quick shout out to, I know Kev says, you know, I appreciate that. Somebody regularly watches the show, comes in the chat, goes, going to have to miss the show today, but still pops in. Love that. Jason, obviously legend. Going to give Curtis a shout out. Check our pages. He's already done with the NBA playbook. Yeah, so that's probably part of the reason. I mean, all jokes aside, it's probably the reason why he's missing tonight. He's balls deep in the summer league. So, no, all the credit to him there. Abu, what's up? Matty Ice, B-Wand, Otter. So nice. He will be missed, but the show goes on. Mangone, you look a little sleepy tonight. How's your sleep schedule been this week? You getting REM or no?
Well, you got to prepare, right? The Scottish Open is starting, and that's overseas. So we're in fine preparation with our sleep schedule to make sure that we're ready to watch this event. Also, we got the League of Legends has been going on. We got Summer League. I've been grinding the Summer League, so been a very, very busy time over here at Rum Pure Sports. But we're doing well. And Dunkel, I'm also getting the sleep schedule ready to go because next week's a major, and I'm trying to be the Brooks Koepka of majors on this show. I'm trying to only win MVP awards at the majors on this show. I know this week is an opportunity for me to easily win with Snyder, the only one here, but Snyder's always the favorite to get the MVP. My new goal, Dunkel, and we'll see how it goes next week. I'm going to be the Brooks Koepka of MVP awards when it comes to these shows.
Duly noted. I will say
next week, Uncle. I'm gonna bring out the big guns. Don't you worry.
I will say this week in particular is always a quiet week in sports, right? You have the All-Star game, the ESPYs and whatnot. And I remember this week in particular because about 6 years ago, my dad took me to Lake Tahoe for the celebrity golf tournament, which always happens this week of the year in between MLB All-Star break and the ESPYs. And boy, did I get my shit pushed in. Nothing to bet on, and you just can play craps for 4 days. Yikes. That was a rough trip for your boy, but no, fun week. But isn't it funny how despite, sports being limited, we still find ways to concentrate on the said sports that are there and available for us. Kind of reminds me of the KBO during COVID when that was a kind of a big focus. So no, obviously it's a watered down week in general, but it's nice to have pickup golf tomorrow and then baseball resumes on Friday. So yeah, looking forward to all that. But obviously again, kudos to Kurt crushing Summer League, obviously the LOL stuff. Rubio and all them just kind of crushing that end. And even our boy Captain. Snyder, on your end, how are things? You just look, in the zone right now.
Just ready to roll here. Ready for this tournament. We actually have our biggest tournament at the course I work at. Our member guest is this week. Today was the practice round kind of, but the next 3 days is going on. So looking forward to that as well, and jumping into this as a little appetizer overseas before we get into that Open next week, like Mangone was saying. So really looking forward to a different type of golf here. They're going to be playing links golf here versus the traditional golf we've been watching. So it's going to be fun. I mean, they should see over the next 2 weeks, I think they will probably see all 4 seasons wound up into 2 weeks there. I mean, they're going to see some like summer, it's going to be winter, it's going to be fall, it's going to be spring. Everything all poured into one batch there, I think. So always fun to see the weather over there.
Yeah, good stuff all around. And hope all goes well on the course for you there, Matt. The 6K guys, we'll definitely talk through it. So no doubt about it. But before we do, let's move over to the some people's favorite part of the week. Some people's favorite part of the week is Snyder's Soldiers, but other sharp people, their favorite time of the week is what's about to happen, the course preview. So it's the Scottish Open. And I do find it obviously ironic that Scottie Scheffler was a huge favorite in the Scottish Open. However, I'll let you talk the course here and dive into the course breakdown.
Yeah, we're across the pond here for the next couple of weeks, like I said, for the Scottish Open and then the British Open next week. This week, golfers are going to see a link-style track here at the Renaissance Club. It's going to be the 5th time this course has held this event, so we will have a little bit of course history to go off of this week. It's a par 70 measuring 7,237 yards, and we'll be set up a little bit differently each day depending on the winds and such. With it being on the coast there, I mean, we could definitely see some huge winds, maybe some advantages. So make sure you're paying attention in Discord. We're going to cover that as the night goes on. 3 par 5s here, 5 par 3s here, 10 par 4s will make up the par 70 here. The biggest defense here is the weather, like I just kind of hit on there. So we need to pay attention to that, up to Lock, be in Discord for all of that. These greens will be rolling slower than normal here as they are fescue-based greens here. They'll probably be rolling at like 9.5 here. Last year, weather conditions were good early. Tringali shot 61 when the weather worsened the next few days. The winning score ended up being only -7 total. So in 2019, we saw great weather, and the winning score was -22. So it just depends on how the winds and weather shake out over these next 4 days. It is expected to pick up here over the weekend, and I think there may be a little AM, PM, PM, AM type advantage. One of those two deals may have a little advantage there that we'll hit on later in the Discord there, like I mentioned. The fairways here are going to have plenty of run on here, making it easier for short hitters to have success here. I would also look for good approach players, guys with good around the green game as well. Some other key stats we're looking at this week: strokes gained approach off the tee, par 3s, 200, 215. Opportunities gained, and then around the green play as well.
The tournament 1 week in front of a major is usually a light week in many streets. However, Snyder just went on for 2 minutes about a course breakdown for a semi-watered down field-ish, right in front of a major. So good stuff as always, Snyder. Mangone, we'll kick it off with you to talk some DFS. Jake, what's up? Welcome, our guy. So DFS, who do we like at the top? Who do we like in the middle bottom this week?
Yeah, before we kick it off, Donald, let me just tell you this. I'm a man of the people, right? And I want to help the people out. If you haven't yet, I'm currently grinding a best ball draft as we do this show. That's because DraftKings offered a little deal today that if you go to the promos tab and you opt in, you basically play like 3 best ball drafts and you get them all for free. Basically, you get like $10 back. So they're free. It's free money, right? It's free opportunity. So if you see me doing something stupid, drafting, you should be doing that too. You don't got too much more time left. I think it's like, so that's why I kind of jumped in. I was like, I don't know how much time I have left, so I want to get in there. So I got that going on as we're talking here. But DFS wise, for me, Tommy Fleetwood is going to be up there for me. Last 24 rounds are incredible. Every single stat that I look at, he's 20th or better. Great approach play. If this place gets hard, well, Tommy Fleetwood is a great guy that plays in the wind. So that's going to be a DFS guy that I go for at 9.4K. I will admit, I'm a little behind on some stuff, and some of these like European guys not as excited about. I want Snyder to kind of lead me to that a little bit as I dive into research later. But Adam Scott is a mid-tier guy that I really like. Again, another guy. Last 24 rounds are solid. He hasn't played in 3 weeks, which I kind of like, and he always plays overseas a ton. So I'm assuming that could benefit him here a bit. So Tommy Fleetwood, 9.4K, a top spend that I really like. And then I also think that Adam Scott at that 8.3K tag is a pretty good one.
Tommy Fleetwood and Adam Scott. Okay, Travis, coming in with the early heat. Snyder, who do you like on the DFS side?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a guy that I've just been playing every week up top. I mean, he's been inside the top 5 the last 6 events. I'm going with Sky the Kid here. I think with the elevated price tag this week, too, of 11.6, I think once the cards get flipped over, at 2:10 this morning Eastern time, I think Scotty's going to come in lower owned than many people are projecting him. I think he's right around 20 to maybe 22% now. I think he's going to come in under 20%. I think there's going to be a few guys cheaper than him that's going to come in over him too as well. So I think we're going to get a little bit of ownership discount here. He's $700 more than Rory, the next guy under him. Then you got some guys with an elite form below him, at least 2,000 below him, Hatton, Fowler, Fleetwood. Those guys will definitely see some ownership at the 2K plus savings there. So I'm going to go with Scotty the Kid up top. I think putting's going to be mitigated here as well too. And if he can anywhere close to break even with the putter, I think he could win this event by like 5 shots going away. So I like Scotty up top. And then my value play is going to be a Euro guy down here, Alexander Bjork. He's been crushing it overseas as of late. 5 to 6 finishes, coming inside the top 10. Great iron player. I can get hot with the flat stick as well. I mean, many won't know the name maybe as he plays all of his events overseas and such, but I think he's going to be pretty good here overseas with the value tag in the low 7Ks. So I like Alexander Bjork at 7.3K for the value.
Alexander Bjork. Can add him to the list of people I've never heard of. So keep up the good work there. Otter giving you tips on doing slow drafts. Travis, thoughts?
No, we don't do slow drafts here. I like to. I'm a fast draft kind of guy. Have you heard the way I talk? I do everything fast, right?
Yeah, you got the fast twitch muscle fibers. Like everything is just fast. The mind works sharp. It's quick, accelerated.
Yep. Some things we do in 30 seconds. I mean, listen, 30 seconds is my speed. So we'll say fast drafts.
Yeah, you don't do half marathons. You know what I mean? It's just for you. It's full throttle no matter what we're doing. Kurt, obviously appreciate the shout. Hope all is well. And then Jason, I love that Adam Scott call. Soldiers. I guess that's Jake's referencing another golfer here, Snyder.
Probably just the soldiers, the Snyder soldiers, maybe.
Maybe. You know what? Maybe that's interesting. I like that verbiage for it. Soldiers. All right. So Snyder, I'll keep it with you. Dunkel misspelling Chef's name, but not Bjork. Snyder, I'll keep it with you for your outright. Who do we like this week? And before you answer, normally I bust your guys' balls when you pick, guys at the top and anything for that matter. But this week, it's like Scotty's odds are like half of what second place is. So I think at minimum, right? If you're building on, I think it'd be probably crazy to fade Scotty this week, right? But so no, you're not going to hear me busting your chops on taking chalk favorite here because I mean these odds are kind of crazy. This when you look into what second place looks like compared to him. But who's your outright this week, Snyder?
Yeah, I definitely think Scotty's going to be there on Sunday, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go down the board just a little bit to Tyrrell Hatton at 18-1. I really like how Hatton's games are rounding in the form coming into this event. I mean, he's been playing well. A couple top fives recently, a couple other top 15s. I mean, it looks like the game's completely in form. The ball striking is just absolutely impeccable right now. The putter has been well, too, so I really like the full game that Hatton's bringing overseas here where he's had a lot of success in the past. So I like Tyrrell Hatton at 18-1.
Let's just, because it's only two of you guys, let's just maybe keep it the same thing with your long shot. Who for your long shot did you fire on this week?
I'm gonna go down the board a little bit. I'm gonna find Alexander Noren. I like him at 100-1 odds. I think he's got some win equity here. I mean, it is kind of loaded up top. There's a few names up there, but once you get down, I think it's kind of a little watered down. I think Noren, he was top 10 at the Rocket Mortgage. He's played well overseas. I think he's the guy that could pop here and be in contention, at least on Sunday, to allow yourself to hedge out or something. So I like Noren at 100-1. Hopefully we can have an opportunity to hedge out and make a profit on Sunday then. Good stuff,
Mangone. I'll kick it to you for your outright and your long shot. On the outright side of things, who do you like this week?
Yeah, and Snyder, you did a great job, too. I just did my draft pick, so now I can wait a little bit longer. If you would have cut it a little sooner, though, it would have messed up. But we're doing great here. Tommy Fleetwood is the guy I'm going to pick. And listen, I've talked about him twice as an outright. I talked about him once, and I said, I don't know if this is the week. Then the next week, I said, I think it's the week, and he got second. And yes, Tommy can't close, but you know where Tommy can close? He can close on not U.S. soil, and we are not in U.S. soil anymore. So 21-1. I like Fleetwood's chances. So we're going back to him again. He looks like Hatton too. If you look at like the key stats, very identical, just absolutely crushing it in all aspects. So give me Tommy Fleetwood at that 22-1 on DraftKings. I think it's 21-1 on FanDuel. So shop around. Next option I'm going to go to. I'm going to go back to Adam Scott. Talk about him. He is 50-1 over on FanDuel. I believe DraftKings it's 45-1. So again, shop around for these picks. But I think Adam Scott has the opportunity to win here. We've seen him play pretty good in some of these fields. And I think he's just a really good name. And I think on this European, like kind of tour field, this is where he shined a bunch. And I think he can shine here.
You guys just spitting hard facts, short, sweet, concise. Good stuff all around. Snyder, for your T20 this week, we sticking with some of the names you've already mentioned, or is there another name that pokes out of the board for you at their price?
Yeah, for my top 20, I'm going to go down the board quite a bit to another Euro guy here. I really like this guy as a value on DraftKings and in the betting markets. Matthew Pavon. I think you might might be able to pronounce it. I think it's Matthew Pavon. 12 of 13 made cuts here. It's coming off of top 20 and the top 7 in his last 2 events overseas here. Mainly plays on the Euro Tour. Has made his last 3 cuts here at the Scottish Open at the Renaissance Club. So I like Pavon at plus 700 to top 20.
IEU. Yeah, I think I got it. What were his odds, Snyder?
700, plus 700.
Jeez, that might be a record for this show.
You love to see it.
Those are like AP numbers. Like AP when he gives 220s, he usually hangs out in this neighborhood. Good stuff. Mateo Pavon. Mangone, how about you?
Yeah, like I said, I'm Brooks Koepka, so I'm not bringing out Mateo Pavon. I'll find a way to beat Snyder at the major next week. I'm just going with Adam Scott again. Adam Scott, if you look, his last 4 of 6 events, he's top 20. Again, this guy's just going to be a steady Eddie type play. I feel very confident in him this week. So really like Adam Scott. He's plus 190. Again, not amazing odds like Snyder, but hey, a win's a win, right? So we'll still walk up to the ticket and collect just like Snyder.
Guys, I'll be honest. I'm having an issue making comments from this video. I'm getting errors, so I might be not able to. Yeah, I just got another error making a comment through this. I might be done with the making comments for this show. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but it did say an error occurred on YouTube. So either way, yes. Snyder mentioned Pavon plus 700. Mangone mentioned Scott plus 190. We'll just head over to matchups quick. Oh, see, somebody could type. Is that what you guys?
Yeah, it was me.
So maybe it's a me issue. Hold on. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, we're back. Just like that, we're back. Yeah, Pavon plus. So it's not going to look as clean because I'm not retyping all that shit again. But Scott plus 190, T20. Okay, so we'll end the show here with matchups. Actually, we might do a little brief talk on the Barbasol, but end on matchups here for this course. Mangone, I'll kick it back to you for a matchup. Was there a matchup that really stuck out to you? Obviously, maybe some of the names you've already mentioned. I know that you've been kind of sticking to your roots recently on the show, and I appreciate that. So are we sticking there, or is there a different matchup you like?
No, we're going to go a little different. So you haven't heard me say this name yet, but I think Snyder will approve. Again, I like to look at approach. Approach is a key stat for me to look at. I like to look at last 24 rounds. And one guy that stuck out is Justin Rose. He has been playing really good golf as of late. Feel very confident in him. And I will say the guy I'm going against, I do not feel confident. This guy's been very up and down. In his last 6 events, he's missed the cut 3 times. He's a very boom bust golfer. He has not been someone that people have been excited about this year. And I don't think anyone's going to be excited about him. It's Sam Burns. That's who we're fading here. It's Justin Rose minus 120 over Sam Burns. Think we're getting pretty good odds there.
Minus 120. And Snyder, kick it to you. Who's your matchup for this week?
Yeah, I had 2 matchups wrote down. I was pretty confident Mangone was going to list one of them. He did, but I like the other one just as much. And it's we got 2 golfers right here. One of them is ascending. One of them is on a serious decline here. I really like Min Woo Lee minus 120 versus Justin Thomas here this week. Min Woo Lee has got all the swagger going on right now. He was top 15 at the British Masters a couple weeks ago. He was top 10 at the Travelers, top 5 at the U.S. Open, top 20 at the PGA Championship. Then you got Justin Thomas, who is I don't know what's going on there, but he definitely doesn't know how to play golf anymore. And it looked like he was having some fun over there at Wimbledon. He kind of looked like Dunkel over there. He had one too many gummies, it looked like. Maybe JT is trying some new things out. I don't know, but I'm going to continue to fade Justin Thomas going forward until he shows me something. And I like Min Woo Lee minus 120 versus him this week.
Nothing wrong with firing up too many gummies. It's like that chick on the airplane. I'm sure you guys saw who said somebody wasn't real. I mean that chick was on some shit. Anyway, how do we get to that level consistently, especially on an airplane? But no, I do appreciate the metaphor there, Snyder, because it has seemed like he's been a bit out of sorts outside of the 1 week where he just magically found his game and then right back to norm again.
Mangone the whole year.
Mangone, on your end, just briefly on the Barbasol, is there a name that maybe would entice you to fire on the board? I know that before the show we briefly talked on a few names that were up there, and I know Pendrith sitting at the top could be intriguing, but again, if he's the favorite on a PGA course, There's probably not a lot of other big names in it. So anybody specifically you like?
All right, well, you know me, I love to live in that 20 to 40 to 1 range typically for some of my outrights. But I'll admit, I don't know anything about the Barbasol this week, but I do know someone who does. I'm not going to disclose, but he has 2 bets. Hopefully he doesn't get mad. I'm sure he's not watching. If he is watching, I'd be shocked, and that would surprise me. But I'll go with Norman and Batia. They're 24 to 1 and 30 to 1. That's the range I typically like. I know someone who made wagers on that. It won't affect his bets, so I'm sure he won't be sad. But yeah, those would be 2 bets that I take a chance on. Then I might even throw those in there for a little Barbasol sweat as well.
Interesting.
Does that person's name start with a J?
and rhymes with SC? Yes, that is correct.
Who's your buddy?
There's no chance he's watching, right? I mean,
no chance.
I just figured he always puts some bets up, and I said, I'll take a couple.
Tell you what, he does have a liking to you two, so wouldn't surprise if he kind of flashes.
He has watched sometimes. He has. I can confirm, but I figured it'd be a fun way to see if I get yelled at later too.
And even Jake's like, she was supposed the person blinked sideways. I mean, regardless, like there's also controversy around it. Maybe it's like an actress that did it because apparently people can't find this woman now. So, but either way, it was fantastic. We need more of that. Snyder, on your end, do you have anybody specifically you like? I know we briefly touched on potentially, was it Lucas Glover? I'm not sure if you're kind of still stuck there.
Yeah, I think I would go to a Lucas Glover over here. He's been playing pretty well. Let me pull up his deal. I'm pretty sure he played really well last week. Yeah, he's off actually back-to-back top 10s. Was 6th at the John Deere and 4th at Rocket Mortgage. So Lucas Glover was a guy I was going to bet on. He was opened at 30 to 1 and it dropped to 22 to 1, but now it's back up to at DraftKings 28 to 1. It's 20 to 1 a lot of places, but DraftKings is now hanging a 28 to 1 number, so I may have to get some action in on that. Glover's the ball striking's just been there for him. He's actually been putting good the last 2 weeks, which is the first time he's gained putting in almost 2 months. So back-to-back good putting performances with some good ball striking. Sign me up for Lucas Glover in that, I guess you could say watered-down event. I mean, it might be the worst. When you got Taylor Pendrith, the favorite in a PGA Tour event with his form, it's bad. But kind of scrolling down a little bit, I'll find a longer shot. Somebody that maybe sticks out here. Let's go. Doc Redman, 90 to 1. I mean, hasn't probably played well in a long time, but he has shown some upside in the last 2 to 3 years, so maybe he can get hot. I have no idea what his form is coming in, but that's a name I know down here at 90 to 1, or soon you all know is at 90 to 1 as well. But I do like Lucas Glover, but I think that's about it for me in this Barbasol for sure.
Yeah, and obviously even just to poke out a few names there that might make sense at their price. So I appreciate that, guys. And look, final notes portion of this show. Look, there's only 2 of you guys. Thought you both did a great job. So we'll let you guys kind of share the reins. Snyder, I'll let you go first. Obviously, there's the Soldiers. Are there any other the other show's already done, right? I think they ran that yesterday because of the short week in sports. So maybe walk us through what's going on this weekend and when you're doing the showdown stuff.
Yeah, we did the other show yesterday, the Strokes Gain show. Myself, AP, Drew, and Locks were on there. I've got all the content up on the website there, the playbook, the cash chart. The core plays are up. AP's heat map. AP just released the workbench play of the week 2 in the Discord there. So head on over, use that promo code SUMMER33 for 33% off. I hear that promo code won't be in much use much longer as stuff starts to re-pick up, and we got some bigger names over here as well too. So definitely use that while you can. I'll have the showdown content up for all 4 rounds as well. Round 1 will be up here momentarily.
Awesome stuff. And Mangone, appreciate you. I know you're grinding a bunch of other things, as you often are, one of those professional multitaskers. Anything you want to talk about before we head into the weekend?
Yeah, I would like to talk about how I randomly got Dalvin Cook in this best ball draft, so he better figure it out this year. That was not my plan, but I'm here for the people. Yeah, I mean, again, this was a free one, so that's good to hear. And they're all free today. If you play 3, that's the max you can get. So make sure to go do some best ball drafts. But we'll be back for the major next week. Excited. Golf locks tonight, a little later. So, but hey, we'll get our stuff in. We got most of the cores are already up. I'm kind of finalizing some of my stuff now. Gonna grab some dinner and then hang out and watch some Summer League. Summer League's a great time. If you haven't signed up, there's still a lot of edges to be had in that. If you're sitting around not doing much, it's worth the grind. So I'll be doing that. And I'm excited for once we finally do hit some football, right? We got college football in a month, Uncle. I mean, maybe it's 5 weeks, but it's getting there soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I feel very confident in that sport, and especially early on in the season where
you're the number 6 college football player in the world.
I don't think that's the case anymore.
Number 5?
Number 5, you go up.
But a Big T has surpassed me in the college football streets. But yes, early in the year is the best for college football because I think a lot of people go off of assumed data instead of actual data. And it's just an easier time for me as the year goes on. I feel like it's kind of the college football streets have gotten sharper and sharper. It's nice to have Bryce aboard now on the DFS side because he's a great in the college football street. So that'll be good for us as well for folks joining. And look, obviously check us out, runpuresports.com, 33% off, code summer33. And look, just like the video as well. If you're just here, it's not hard, right? Not hard at all. Just go ahead and give us a like. Appreciate that. Next week's a major, so we'll be back with a full house. But look, with all that said, gamble responsibly, stay safe, and as always, run pure. We'll catch you guys next week.